Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another latest Arsenal news live stream. In today's stream, we will be discussing a lot of topics. Me and Cozy haven't talked since like Tuesday, so we're going to be covering a lot of topics. The first one will be about Maddison's swap deal with Nelson and Niles. We'll also be covering Smith Rowe's new contract. How good is it? What does it mean for Arsenal? How does Cozy feel about Smith Rowe getting the number 10? We'll also be discussing the latest on Aouar, the latest on Ben White, the latest on any Arsenal players who are about to leave, the likes of Xhaka, Bellerin. And I will also be asking Cozy a couple of questions regarding the supposed 250 million budget we had, plus a couple of other questions I'm going to be asking in the middle. So if you're watching this on replay, the timestamps will be in the description. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. But if you're already here, like the 20 people who are already here, let's get the party started, as Cozy would say. So, Cozy, how have you been?
Yeah, I mean, not the best of time in the last 48 hours for me, but I'm back and back to business. That's the great thing.
That's the best thing. Yeah, we have to talk about Arsenal. We stream and everything, but yeah, life happens sometimes. A couple of problems here and there. Even today, I'm seeing a lot of people have been impatient and stuff. A lot of technical difficulties, but hey, we are here. We are healthy. We are alive. We are working. We are streaming. So let's focus on what is there right now. So, Cozy, what a week for Arsenal. A lot of stuff has happened, including the tour getting cancelled. So we'll come to that. First up, we'll talk about Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe signing the new contract with Arsenal this week. I'm pretty sure it wasn't kept a secret that much. We are kind of sure he'd get a new contract, but Aston Villa have been linked to him, so you'd never know. You never know. You never know. Smith Rowe signed a new contract, a new long-term contract, I think till 2026 or something. So, Cozy, what did you make of the news about Smith Rowe signing a new contract?
I mean, first and foremost, like you said, it wasn't a surprise. I wasn't surprised. Nobody should say they were surprised. Really, I think he was gonna sign it. He was always gonna sign it, despite the fact that Aston Villa were interested and they put in a couple of bids. I was so sure. Fabrizio made me so comfortable because said the moment the player comes back from holiday, final talks are going to be done, and then a new contract is going to be, a pen is going to be put on paper for a new contract. And finally, that is what actually happened. I think what Arsenal are trying to do is now very evident. Saka, new contract. Smith Rowe, new contract. Kian Tierney, new contract. Albert Sambi-Lokonga, 21 years of age. Nuno Tavares, 21 years of age. I think one of the things we're trying to do is we are trying to build that kind of balance in our squad. You have the senior members of the team, but you also have these young players actually coming up. It's one of the problems we've had in the past decade. We've had players not being able to be replaced adequately from the market and even at the club. If you ask me, ever since Bakali Sanya, I don't know whether Bakali Sanya was one of our best right backs at Arsenal, but look, he was decent. He was consistent. He was durable. Yeah. Ever since Bakali Sanya, we've not had someone to step in. And the reason is we did groom someone right from the start. We've been speaking about the likes of Laura Koscielny. We've been speaking about a couple of the likes of Sanchez. Ever since they left the club, we've not actually had players stepping up to take their positions. And there was a lot of imbalance. You have these players moving away, and then they're leaving a big gap, in the club that you have to fill in the market. And you can see in the past 5 years, Arsenal has really struggling in the market and struggling with young talents that have actually not been available. So I think what they're trying to do is get this project, build a squad that has balance between the professional and experienced players with the leadership, and also try to groom some young players coming in. So for me, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because I know if I don't get James Maddison, if I don't get a number 10, Smith Rowe can play in that area. Probably not so well like Maddison. Probably not so well like Iniesta or anyone that could play in a position. But at least you have that balance. You have that balance in the squad. You're secure that if Maddison gets injured, I can play Emile Smith Rowe. If I don't have Pepe, I can play Saka. If I don't have Pepe, I can play Gabriel Martinelli. I can play Nuno Tavares if Tierney is away. So I think for me, the message there is it brings out the real picture of what Arsenal are trying to do. And maybe it's not time to say celebrate the process, but maybe it's time to say, oh, wait a minute, is Mikel Arteta and Edu and Vinay, is their project that is being done at Arsenal? Look, I don't trust them. I'll never trust the Arsenal process. I don't know. Are they spending money? Are they doing these good things in this summer because they're under pressure and they're gonna take us back to the rotten days back again in the coming summers? I see that quite predictably well, but we've got to appreciate what we have at hand. Smith, we're getting a new contract. For me, that is big news. If you're an Arsenal fan out there and you love Smith, well, we know the impact the lad has actually created at Arsenal. We know the impact Smith is capable of bringing at Arsenal. For me, if he's managed well, if you give him the right management, tell him to take the risks, tell him to start scoring the goals, because that is what is crucial to him as a player. He wants to play as a 10. He wants to play as a Kevin De Bruyne. You've got to add goals to your game. You've got to add assists to your game. And for me, this is the right time now. Focus on he's just gonna focus on that. If we manage him well, he's gonna be a very, very brilliant player. So I think it's another big signing of the summer. Big signing of the summer.
Yeah, and you've pointed out a lot of things. One of them is the mistakes we've made in the transfer market. You can't actually mention one. It's like 100 mistakes. The signings of Mustafis and all those players, the signings of the old players like Williams. But one of the major ones was, and has always been, letting our players go on a free. I can't believe we let Sanchez go on a free. I know we got Mkhitaryan, but Sanchez on the kind of form he was at Arsenal, we would have gotten at least 80 million for him. Ramsey, at his peak, would have gotten 80 million for him. Ramsey would have gotten at least 40 million for him. We also kept players with injuries for too long, the likes of Diaby, the likes of Rosicky, the likes of Cazorla, Wilshere. You would have gotten rid of them a long time ago because of the wages and stuff. So at least recently, we've seen Saka signing a new contract. I know Aubameyang didn't have the best of seasons, but I remember when he signed a new contract, I was buzzing. Martinelli signed a new contract. Balogun signed a new contract. We're expecting Leno to sign a new contract as well, very soon maybe. And a lot of players are staying. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about is the number 10. What do you make of him getting the number 10? Do you think it's a good reward for him? Do you think he deserves it, or do you think it's too much pressure on him? Or are you like the number doesn't really matter?
I think it matters. It matters, especially to a player like Emile Smith Rowe. The number matters because he's been at this club for a decade now. So look, I think for the past 7 years, you don't even you can't tell which shirt numbers hold value at Arsenal. Really, the shirt number 14, really, Theo Walcott, did he give it much? Did he give it the respect it deserves? Did he do its service? I don't think so. Shirt number 10, Robin van Persie, right? That one, that one was fair enough. Jack Wilshere, did he give it the service it deserves? I don't think so. Right. So look, the shirts matter, and they do matter, and there is a reason. That's why not all shirts matter. There are just a few, 2 or 3 or 4 shirts that actually do matter at a football club. Shirt 14 at Arsenal, shirt 10, I think it's iconic as well. Is shirt 7 iconic at Arsenal? I'm not really sure about that. Shirt 7, no. Robert Perez.
It is iconic at United, not at Arsenal.
Yeah, not really at Arsenal, yeah. But I think 10 is iconic, 14 is iconic as well. So is it a lot of pressure on Emile Smith Rowe? I don't think it's a lot of pressure at the moment because he's not actually fitting in. He's not, the shirt is not being passed down from Dennis Parkham to the shoulders of Emile Smith Rowe. He's actually getting the shot from a couple of hands that have actually not done it a lot of service. But of course, he's got to revive the name. I don't think the shot would be so heavy for him. I think what the responsibilities of the shot demand, though, are going to be very, very tiresome. They're going to be very, very demanding on Emile Smith Rowe as well. But I think as a player, he's got the talent. He's got the potential to fulfill all the demands of that shirt number absolutely well. He's got the talent and potential to do that. Just the management. It might not be the easiest of him for him, but I think he deserves the shot. He deserves the reward. Saka actually had a brilliant season last season, but one. He got shot number 7 as a reward. Smith Rowe getting shot number 10 as a reward. I think he deserves it. And look, he's homegrown. He's been at this club for 10 years. He knows what it means to play for Arsenal. He knows what it means to put on shirt number 10 at Arsenal. So it's more of keeping, the most important, parts of the club within the club, and I'm so grateful with that. I don't think he will crumble because of the shirt number. I don't think Saka never crumbled, at any point in time because he changed the shirt number. Smith will not crumble. I think, it just needs to give us, be calm, give us what you're capable of, and you're gonna be right, son. You're gonna be right. You're gonna be all right. So I think shirt number 10, yes, it is iconic. It's beautiful to see him in the colors of shirt number 10. I don't think it will affect him. I think we're gonna see more and more good things from Smith Rowe, despite the fact that he's gonna have such a heavy shirt number on his back.
Dia, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you for all the comments. He says, no shock, but the number 10 many didn't predict. I personally felt he was going to get the number 8. And Ninja Boy says they should have let Smith Rowe go and brought in Odegaard. What do you make of that, cuz?
I mean, it's first, yeah?
Everyone has their own opinion, though.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Everybody has their own opinion, and as long as you can support it, as long as you can back it, opinions are always right. As long as you can stand by it, logically. But look, for me, Odegaard is an immediate player, right? So I don't compare Odegaard to Emile Smith Rowe. Odegaard is an immediate player. Smith Rowe is gonna, even if he doesn't shine next season, I can't be like, wow, Smith Rowe didn't shine. He's been a flop. No, I can't say that. He's 20. And I think he needs another season, in the Premier League, probably to develop and get better and better and better. So saying let Odegaard come in and Emile Smith Rowe, out, it doesn't make sense for me. I think they're more of the same player. I think Odegaard doesn't take so much risks. I think Smith Rowe doesn't take so much risks as well. And they all need management at this point in time. So. They're not so different. I don't think. Look, Odegaard is a little bit, ahead probably, but I don't think you're gonna get massive, rewards by keeping Odegaard and throwing out Smith Rowe. And I think you should keep them in the same squad. Odegaard wants to play from the flanks. He wants to stretch play. He wants to do his business. A little bit wider. Odegaard is Smith Rowe. Odegaard is gonna do his business right in the middle of the pack. So there is no reason as to why you let Smith Rowe go and in order to keep Odegaard, unless you tell me don't bring Maddison, bring Odegaard. That would make more sense in sense of a comparison.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing up Maddison. That was the guy I thought was going to get the number 10 at Arsenal, and that takes us nicely to the next topic, and that is Maddison. Obviously, we've been linked to Maddison the past 1 month, and recently more news of him has emerged, and that is about the swap deal with either Nelson or Maitland-Niles. So, Kozi, how do you feel about this? Do you think Leicester will agree? I don't think they'll agree anyway. And do you think it's a good offer for them? Do you think it's a good offer from us, or do you think we should just pay the cash?
Look, the swap for me, the swap deal is unrealistic. If you're saying you're swapping a player like Gabriel Martinelli, right? God forbid, if you're swapping a player like Gabriel Martinelli, Leicester City would be interested at some point in time, but Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, they're good players, but they're not of any interest. I mean, they're not attractive enough for Leicester City to even think about it. And honestly, if you're gonna be realistic, it's gonna be a cash-only deal. That is what Leicester City are looking at. It's a cash-only deal. Which players are you gonna swap for? With James Maddison at Arsenal, realistically. Are you going to give them a Aubameyang? Are you going to give them Partey? You know,
No.
it's it's when I was speaking about this swap deal, I said yeah, it's Peter O'Rourke has said Arsenal trying to be as inventive as possible. They're trying to bring out all the possible ways to get the deal done. But for me, the swap deal with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, that one is out, absolutely out. It's either the money or the deal is off.
Okay, so Maddison, let me ask you this question again. I'm sure you've talked about it before, but how much would you be willing to pay for him the most?
I said 60. I think 60 is fine. 60 million is fine, considering the kind of impact we project he can bring at Arsenal. 60 is fine. I'll pay their 60 million and get the party and get him to the party.
For me, the other part of the question is: would you be willing to lose Nelson and Niles? Let's say they actually accept. Would you be willing to send Nelson over to Leicester on a permanent deal and Niles over on a permanent deal as well, or would you like to keep, let's say, Nelson?
Reece Nelson, I've not seen so much of him. I've always said I would trust in him if he gets his final ball. Correct. Ainsley, if the right offer comes in, if the right amount of money comes in, I'm letting him go. So I could give them Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Look, if it is bringing in James Maddison, Reece Nelson, I would use Reece Nelson as a sacrifice. I would sacrifice Reece Nelson. I would sacrifice the likes of Eddie Nketiah, get 3 of them. Of course, they're never going to accept to it, because there's no way they already have Patson Daka, Vardy, and Clichy, so they cannot even take they cannot take Nketiah. Maybe Reece Nelson, because they might want someone to play on the flanks. Maybe some backup, some cover. On the flanks, maybe Reece Nelson. So I would let Reece Nelson go, to Leicester City if it involves giving us James Maddison. I would definitely.
Okay, you can actually add Willian into that list. Buy 3 and get 1 free. Get them a good offer. Buy 3 and we give you Willian for free. Throw in Willian into that deal because he's not good enough at Arsenal. And it's looking every day like it's going to stay, unfortunately, for the people who want Willian to leave. It's looking like he's going to start the season with us, at least for the first 3 games before leaving. So that was the other piece of news coming out this week. And the other one, the surprise piece of news, was this guy, Jordan Henderson, Cozy. Arsenal linked to Jordan Henderson. I put out a poll in the community tab asking how people felt about this. Do you think he'll bring some experience to the team, or do you think it's another Willian kind of buy? Or are you 50-50? Are you still thinking about it? And I think it was very close. I think actually people were okay with it. They said that he's actually going to bring some leadership to Arsenal. Do you agree with that, Cozy, or do you think this is just another Lichtsteiner, another Peter Cech, another William Gallas, another of those bad buys from rival teams?
I think with Jordan Henderson, he has more to offer than William, than Stefan Lichtsteiner, than Peter Cech as well. Because with Peter Cech, you're getting a talented, experienced goalkeeper who knows the league, right? And of course, he had won a couple of titles as well from Chelsea. With Stefan Lichtsteiner, you're signing someone who's so old, to give you backup. With William, I don't see leadership in William. I don't see he has the experience in the league. He's been in the league. But with Jordan Henderson, you're getting someone who has led Liverpool for some time now. You're getting an Englishman who knows the league very well. You're getting a fresh winner who knows what it means to win. Not more than 5 years ago. He has a Champions League in the last half a decade. He has the Premier League in the last half a decade. So if you ask me, how many players do have that? Let me just ask you, Glenn, how many players at Arsenal do have the winning mentality?
Nah, I'd say maybe Luis when he came in, but he's gone.
Okay.
I don't think there's a lot. I know Partey won maybe 1 or 2 trophies at Atletico, but you'd be struggling to find players who've actually been there and won a lot of trophies before. Tierney maybe at Celtic, but he was very young. Bellerin not really. Holding not really. Elneny not really. So there's a lot of players who don't have that mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what, when we were playing Villarreal, I looked at this team, a manager that lacks experience, a team that lacks experience, no one to motivate us, no one to, inject that extra inch of character.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what you get from a player like Jadon Henderson. Many people are going to say, because he's 32, he's 33, he's 31, he's what? He's 45. Look, you need to balance this squad. You need to have all the attributes in this squad. You need to have players that can lead in different moments. You need players that can change games. I don't think he's a game changer, but I think he's a silent, important piece of gold for Liverpool. Do I think they'll let him go? They'll be mad. They'll absolutely be mad to let Jadon Henderson leave. Absolutely. They've lost Gigi Wijnaldum to PSG on a free. Are they going to lose another experienced player in the same season? I don't see that happen. I really don't see that happen unless they're absolutely mad. Do I take him at Arsenal? 100%. Honestly, 100%. I take his experience. I take his his leadership. I take his character. Absolutely, I do. Because with the likes of Smith Rowe, the likes of Lokonga, you need someone like Jadon Henderson in there. Try to show them what to do, right? And I think a league is not like a tournament. Leagues, a league is a marathon. You're gonna climb the hills. You're gonna have the valleys. You're gonna go on, onto the plateaus. And that is where player, when it's time to go, up the hill and you're already tired, that is when players like, Henderson give you the extra pull with their character.
So what about the injury record though? Do you just want him around the team?
Of course, I'm not bringing him as a starter. I'm bringing him as a squad member. A senior squad member, actually, should say that. A senior squad member.
Okay, that makes sense. So Cozy would actually get Henderson. For me, I wouldn't, because I've seen us last season. I thought Willian would bring a lot to Arsenal. Maybe not the leadership that we are talking about, but I thought about it and I was like, Willian, he's been at Chelsea, he's won a couple of league titles, a couple of FA Cups, he's been in and around the likes of Lampard and those kind of players, John Terry, Gary Cahill. He has some experience. I thought Martinelli is Brazilian. The likes of Gabriel are Brazilian. It can only work out for him. Willian, with the experience, is going to help those kind of players. Same position with Martinelli. I thought all that will work out, but it did not work out. Same with the likes of Czech. We actually thought he was going to give us 15 points a season, Czech. He actually ended up costing us like 15 points that season. People like William Gallas, all those players we've signed for Chelsea, people call them deadwood players, unfortunately. So I don't know. Cozy says it gets Henderson. Let me know in the comment section what you do. Make sure you drop a like on the video. I'll come to the comments a bit later on. The next topic I wanted us to cover, Cozy, is okay, we've talked about the experienced players. So the next question was, which kind of player do you personally prefer? Do you prefer, let's compare Maddison and Locatelli. Do you prefer someone like a Maddison or a Ruben Neves, someone who was Premier League experienced, or do you prefer someone who's coming from abroad, someone with international experience, someone who's done it at international level and has done it at different leagues like Spain, Italy, and all those countries? Which one do you prefer, Premier League experience or international experience?
I mean, I really don't know the dimension of the question, because if it is on the pitch, what they're going to offer on the pitch, I'm definitely going with someone who knows the league. I'm definitely going with someone who has played in the Premier League, because one of the good things with the Premier League is it's a very fast league. It's a very speedy league. So if you survive in the Premier League, you can survive anywhere. You can, survive across Europe. And it is very fast and very, very physical. That is one of the things it has. So it's like hell. It's like really, really hell. So I prefer a player like Ruben Neves. Because I know he's never going to struggle with the league. He's never going to struggle with the Premier League. He has already played in the league. He already knows what it takes to play, in this English Premier League. But with players coming from outside, the good thing is they offer so many things new. That's the good thing. If a player who's a success, look at Alexis Sanchez coming in at Arsenal, or Mesut Ozil. Remember their first seasons at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they offer so many things that are new. They add that kind of flair. They add that kind of beauty, because with all due respect, we don't have a lot of beauty in the Premier League. It is there, and don't get me wrong, it's there. But if you watch maybe the Netherlands, yeah, the likes of Daniel Malen and a couple of players from there. If you watch Spain, and the way they pass their ball. If you watch Germany football and the way they run and the way they shoot at goal, they have different attributes they could actually add to the team, and to the Premier League. You remember Lucas Podolski when he came in?
Mm-hmm.
That was his style. He was always gonna blow you. That was Lucas Podolski. And I still believe with German football, it's all about that. They go for goal. Honestly, German football, they go for goal. Yeah. So I think the beauty with such players, the likes of Samuel Nasri coming in, the likes of Cesc Fabregas coming from Spain, as a young player, of course, as a youngster, as a kid, the likes of Van Persie coming in from Feyenoord, is they give you something different. And when you adapt these patterns of football, you get a very good brand of football, and that's why Arsenal really had a very good brand of football. If you look at our team under Arsene Wenger, it was multi-sourced, wasn't it? Really multi-sourced. You have Son belong somewhere. You have Alexander Hileb somewhere. Cesc Fabregas, Samuel Nasri, Robin van Persie, Rosicky. It was multi-sourced, but they could form that kind of pattern that was so beautiful. We had football that was so beautiful. It's the same thing that with Dortmund at the moment. If you look at Dortmund, it's not a German affair. No, it's not a German affair. They have a Jude Bellingham somewhere. They have a Mahoud somewhere. They're bringing in a Daniel Malen now, somewhere. Look, it's like it's like they collect different kind of players, and they're gonna get that kind of pattern of football that is so interesting to watch. So Premier League, because of the league, you go for someone who's played in the league. But again, if you decide to go for someone outside the league, there are so many enormous benefits you're gonna get from it.
Okay, so Kozi has given us his ideas of the experienced players and the non-experienced players and what he prefers. So the next topic you're going to talk about, make sure you send any questions you have in the chat. The last 10 minutes you'll use to answer any questions you have. So Kozi would take Henderson, it would take the experience, it would take the Premier League experience. So we were promised 250 million, or 90 million told us we have 250 million to spend. So far we spent 75 million, as you can see on the title. So far we spent 75 million. That's 50 million on Ben White, and the rest on Lokonga and on Tavares. So let's say we have another 175 million to spend. Kozi is the Arsenal manager. How would you spend that 175 million? Which positions and which players?
Yeah, exactly. Look, I mean, let me start with that, because I did the story. I did the story in my channel. The 250 million. I think that was 5 weeks ago, from 90 Min, and they said it was an exclusive. Yeah. And at some point in time, if you've been an Arsenal fan following how deals have been sliding in, Tavares, Lokonga, then Ben White, it's like kind of an elevation. I think at some point in time, anyone could have been tempted to think like, maybe we're gonna spend the 250 million. Maybe we're gonna spend it, but I think that money includes player sales. Honestly, I think it includes player sales. It depends on how, because they said Arsenal have been given a 250 million budget, right? And then the next day they say the money actually doesn't include player sales. I think they are wrong about that. I think the money actually includes player sales. How much can we raise from selling this this dead wood out of the window? So How do I spend the last 75 million pounds? Get 75 million pounds, and look, it's not so easy. It's not so easy, but it's not so easy. But look, we need a backup goalkeeper. Honestly, I'm not going for Aaron Ramsdale. And one of the surprises I've had today, I had it from David Onstein. Sam Johnston is 28 years of age.
That's my choice. 100%.
Is he 28 years of age?
Yeah, he's definitely more older than Ramsdale. Yeah, he's around that age.
I thought this guy was around 22, man.
No, he's old. I think he's been a bit more. I think we've not seen him because he's not really been in the league playing as the first team goalkeeper most of the time.
Oh yeah. So I'm not going for Aaron Ramsdale still. I'm not going for Aaron Ramsdale. I think the problem with the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal is there's a lot of uncertainty with Leno, especially on his future. There's a lot of uncertainty. Onstein is speaking at Sky today. Was it today or yesterday? And he was saying that Arsenal want to bring in someone that can actually replace Leno. And actually, I think it was Donny against Sky Sports who was saying that if Arsenal bring in a 32 million goalkeeper, Leno is dropped from first choice goalkeeper. Then I'm like, come on, what exactly are we speaking about? What are we looking for, and where are we? So 10 million for Sam Johnston, 10 million for Sam Johnston, backup goalkeeper. Provided Leno leaves, I sign in another goalkeeper. I go for a better goalkeeper, right? Obviously, I'll pay the 35 million pounds on Ruben Neves. Yeah, okay. I'll pay the 35 for Ruben Neves. Get him to next to Thomas Partey. James Maddison, the 60 is hard to pay. I would pay it. It's hard to pay. I would definitely pay it. Pay it. Get James Maddison. You need the creativity. The right backs that we.
How much are you willing to spend on a backup goalkeeper?
10. That is 10.
So that's 105. Go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, before moving on, we were interested in David Raya. You still remember?
Yeah.
Brentford. I don't know. Did he sign a new contract with Brentford? I think I saw something like he signed a new contract.
I'm not sure, but the story totally disappeared from Arsenal's radar totally. So I'm not sure we're going to go with him.
Yeah, absolutely. But if he's still available for 10 million, I'll try him. I'll try him because it gives you a lot more security. With his talents and potential. You feel like if Leno gets injured, I have a good backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I would spend only 10 million. 35 for Ruben Neves, 60 for 60 million for Maddison. Yeah, 60 million for Maddison. I would go for a right back that's around 30 million euros, and I think that is Max Aarons, honestly. Yeah, I would do a
right back.
Yeah, I would look. I think Arsenal will not splash a lot of money on a right back. I don't think they're looking at that. I think they're looking at bringing someone around 15 million, 10, 13. I think that's the idea. Don't you think so?
I don't think we're going to bring a right back. That's where I'm sticking. We have Cedric, Bellerin is still at the club. Chambers is still at the club. Ben White can play as a right back. Tavares can play as a right back. We have 5, 6 players who can play as a right back. Definitely I'd buy a right back, but for the club, I don't think they'll splash or buy a right back. So I'll be very surprised if they buy a right back. But if they end up buying, I think the kind of something you're thinking like 15 million or something most.
Yeah. So for me, I would go for Max Aarons. 21 years of age. The resale value is there. He's English, so I could sell you. If I'm selling him, I'll tell you he's English. Give me 30 million, and then it's good. Give me an extra 30 million. That is 60. Yeah, and and I have a good deal. But I think Arsenal could go for someone like Zelik, maybe 15 million euros, 15 million pounds, or 17 million euros. That could be the deal. I wouldn't go for someone. Someone is saying Ninja Boy is saying someone like Denzel Dumfries. I wouldn't go for someone like Denzel Dumfries. I would go for someone instead of going for Denzel Dumfries. I'm going for someone like Jeremy Doku, almost in the same price range. I think Jeremy Doku, Ridobaku, yeah, I would go for players like that. And honestly, I need to strengthen the midfield, so I'll bring in Houssem Aouar for an extra 30 million euros as as another midfield reinforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would sign Aouar. I would sign Ruben Neves and Maddison in that midfield, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I would. Bringing in a new striker depends. If we can move on Lacazette, move on Edin Ketia, I would go for Houssem Aouar, another young talent with potential, a bargain.
Do we still have money? Wait, are we running out of the 175 million? Because if you're buying Aouar is around 30 million.
Yeah, 20. You should say 22 million euros.
20, Neves 35, that's around 55. You said you'll pay 60 million for Maddison, so we already crossed the 100 million mark. You said like 10 million for right back, 10 million for backup goalkeeper. So at most there we have around 30-40 million to spend. So the remaining 30-40 million.
Obviously, I'm boosting my forward line. I would boost the forward line, getting someone like Houssem Aouar.
Okay, he's less than 20 million, right?
Yeah, less than 20. And you know what? If a club like Shakhtar can give us Mena Solomon, if they can give us Mena Solomon on a loan deal with an obligation to buy, I would also bring in Mena Solomon as well.
Okay, DL says he'll get I'll go get Navas of PSG or get there's a video Cozy did a couple of weeks ago, I think, talking about how poor Navas was for PSG. So I don't think he's better than Leno. So I don't think he's that much of an improvement. You could say he's better, maybe more experienced. He's played more Champions League games and maybe all that, but I don't think he's a better shot stopper. Sam Johnston as a second choice. Or get two goalkeepers. Would you get two goalkeepers?
No, I wouldn't. I mean, we have Arthur Okonkwo already promoted, so I wouldn't. I would only go for one.
Okay, and then obviously you said the money will come from player sales. So which are the 5 players you'd get rid of first, and the ones that would get us some money?
5 players I would get rid of. Alexander Lacazette.
How much do you think we should get for him?
20 million euros.
20 million euros.
Yeah, depending on the circumstances in the market, the pandemic and all those things.
20 million euros is what he has. One more season remaining.
Yeah,
that's around 17-18 million pounds. Can I be honest with you? For Lacazette to stay here for one season and help us get back to the Champions League, I'd actually just risk it and rather lose him on a free than getting that 17 million.
So I'm selling Lacazette for 20 million euros, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling Joe Willock because he's another one that can give us some good money.
Yeah.
25 million pounds. That is around 28 million euros. Of course, the risk with Willock is he's already giving us that depth, in the midfield. So
yeah,
and he's also homegrown, so it's a risk. It's a risk selling him. I would let him go, honestly. If I'm looking to raise money, obviously I'm selling Xhaka, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling Bellerin, 15 to 20 million euros.
Yeah,
and who else should I sell?
Do you think we'll get him for Willian?
It's hard. I think for Willian, it could be a club might take him and they might not give us any money and cover his wages.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how bad we are. So, have you mentioned Nketiah?
No, not yet. How much do you think Nketiah is worth? 15?
Yeah, I think that's the most you can get for him, and that will be stretching. If I have a team, I'd offer 11 million for Nketiah or something, around 10 million.
Yeah. I think those are the 5 I would sell out. But look, I would, I'm changing my mind. I would keep Mohamed Elneny for a season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would keep Elneny for a season. Honestly, he's gonna go out, in January. But I think if there is a player who has been so patient as a backup player is Elneny. And whenever he comes on, he's not too high and it's not too low in terms of quality. So he's there. So you could just bring him on for game management a couple of times.
Okay, so there's still a lot of changes. Yesterday I did a video talking about the 20 completed transfers so far. It doesn't sound like 20, but they've actually been more than 20 deals in terms of new contracts, in terms of players leaving, the likes of Luis, Ceballos, Ryan, all those players. And there are a lot of youngsters who've left Arsenal, by the way, because I counted almost eight youngsters who've left Arsenal. Do you think Arteta could be the reason? Because I've seen people saying it's because people have seen how Arteta treats the youngsters. Do you think that's the reason why a lot of youngsters are rejecting new contracts and leaving the club? The likes of Goalkeeper from the academy, the likes of Ben Schiff, they've all left Arsenal. Also, if you want to count the players who've left on loan, Guendouzi, Saliba, do you think it's the reason?
Now, I don't think. I think those players that have left because of Mikel Arteta are specific. I don't think it is. It's general. I don't think we should generalize the Arteta effect to all the young players out there. Because remember, he's given Emile Smith-Rowe a chance. Remember, he's giving Saka a chance. Remember, he's giving the likes of Martinelli, trying to give them a chance, maybe. So I think, with Arsenal, and this is what happens, by the way, with young players. Arsenal as a big club, you're always going to have a lot of products from your academy. Some are going to make it to the first team, some are not. The likes of Harry Kane, they have reportedly been at Arsenal. The likes of Daniel Malin, now 35 million euros, to Dortmund. He's been at Arsenal, and we're going to get around 250,000. How is it called? A sell-on clause from Arsenal clause? Yeah, around 200. Yeah, around 250k. So with young lads, with young players, it happens all the time. It really happens all the time. Some make it to the first team, others actually don't make it to the first team. So many have left, and many are still living, by the way. So I don't think it's Mikel Arteta. I don't think it's Mikel. For Guendouzi, I'll put it on Mikel. For Saliba, I'll put it on Mikel. The rest of the young lads, it's maybe they just wanted to continue their careers somewhere else, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So Kozi says it's not because of Mikel Arteta. I saw a lot of comments saying it's because of Mikel Arteta, and I just logged off of Twitter because sometimes your mood gets spoiled a bit. So unfortunately, a lot of youngsters have left. So if you do a couple of research, but yeah, there's a video. The last video I did on my channel talking about that, and Kozi also has I think 2 videos or something talking about all the players who've left Arsenal so far. Obviously, there'll be a lot of updates on that. His link is in the title, so make sure you subscribe to him. And Lokonga is next, Kozi. So Lokonga completed his move to Arsenal this week, and we are denied the masterclass against Inter Milan. We've been denied the Lokonga masterclass against Inter Milan. Our pre-season tour to US has been cancelled. So do you think that has I think Arsenal is actually playing today. I heard Arsenal will play today now behind closed doors match. I think against, is it Millwall or something like that?
Yeah.
So it won't be streamed. So we'll play the game. So do you think it will affect us that much that the friendlies that we were going to play have been cancelled? Do you think it spoils the preparation? It ruins the preparation?
It obviously does. It obviously does. I mean, we've said this before, a couple of times, and I will say it in the league when the league starts and we're doing match reactions and match previews. You remember last season? How many games did we play for preseason? Did we play any?
No, last season it was because of the virus and stuff. It was the time for relaxing was really short. I think we only played against Aston Villa, MK Dons, and the season started. Yeah,
exactly. So with preseason, with the way these guys are looking like how heavy they are, the lack of fitness they have, they need like 100 games preseason. Honestly, 100 games. They're so they're not even focused, man. They're not even focused.
Yeah,
they're not in footballing modes. But so I think because it's a big opportunity if you're playing a club like Inter Milan, it's a big opportunity
to test yourself.
To test yourself. Let alone the fact that they might leave out 5 or 6 of their starters, but the feeling that you're playing Inter, knocks you back into the footballing zone, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so different from playing Hibernian, you're playing Dundalk, you're playing Rangers, so different. When you're playing
Yeah.
Inter, at least you've got to prepare adequately. And as you prepare, you're getting back into the football zone. I don't think Arsenal players are in the football zone. Honestly, I don't think. It looks like they are way off the radar. They are way off the rail. And Mikel has got to do a lot with the last how many are they? How many are they? Um
Tottenham and
it is
Chelsea.
no. It is 20 days to the start of the league, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we only have two competitive friendlies, Tottenham and Chelsea. Are we? How about the Emirates Cup? We're having a game.
Yeah, I don't. It's not been available for the last couple of years. So I don't know if it was completely cancelled or it's going to come back later, but it's not there these days. Also, the traveling and stuff. You don't want to arrange it, and obviously, we usually don't end up winning it anyway. So I don't want it. It was always very entertaining. I usually loved the Emirates Cup. We played on a Saturday and on a Sunday, so it usually used to be a lot of fun. But I don't think it's there anymore. So we only have Tottenham and Chelsea.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
yeah, exactly. And so, look, playing Inter Milan and Everton would have been a great opportunity for us to prepare for the likes of Chelsea and Spurs, and also get look. The problem is, it looks like we're so disorganized. We are going into the new season just the same way we came out of the last season, and nothing's new really. Nothing's really new. Is everybody's gonna ask me, because is Ben White gonna play in that game? In the opening game of the season, and I don't think he will be. He will even be available. So honestly, it's a great loss. It's a great. It was a great chance for us to test ourselves and show these men what we are all about.
Yeah, it's a very, very major loss. And a lot of people are making jokes about the Arteta inners. That next season when we lose a couple of games, we will give the excuse that we didn't have a full preseason. Do you think that will be a sufficient excuse?
No. Nobody should say that. No one can. That's not an excuse, really. That's not an excuse, really. I think the only excuse Mikel will get next season is if he fails to get in the proper midfielders. That is the only that's the only thread he's hanging on. The moment he gets in, even if it's one midfielder, for me it's a game changer. Absolutely, it's a game changer. Yeah. So no, not even. He shouldn't think about making excuses of how he was actually of how he was actually robbed of his preseason. No way, absolutely no way.
Okay, so let's take a couple of questions from the chat before we end it. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. On the road to 10,000. When I grow up, I want to be like Cozy. He's on the road to 30,000, and he's been doing. If you're not subscribed to Cozy by now, I don't know what you're doing yet. Because I think in terms of news, every time I go back onto YouTube, there's a new Cozy video. I log back out. I do my own stuff. Come back in. There's a new Cozy update. So for all the updates, make sure you go check them out. I'm always on his channel. I think we've already done almost 10 videos in total together so far. So we'll be doing more. Obviously, the transfer window ends in August. I saw a question from Steven in the chat asking about the transfer window. It will end in August. I think August 31st. So that's when it's ending. So Steven also, okay, let's start with Daniel first. He says our starting 11 is still the same as last season. Do you think that? Do you think we'll improve on it? Do you think is that worrying you that we haven't improved on the first team and we've only signed backup players?
Yeah, I mean a lot, definitely a lot. And I've had so many rumors from David Ornstein saying Mikel Arteta will have a new squad, almost a new squad by the time he starts a new season. Where's the new squad, bro? Where is it? Of course, you've got to be very, very frightened, very, very scared, and very concerned. If you're coming back, in the new season, you've lost Ceballos and Odegaard. Look, I mean, it's not even the same. It's not even the same lineup. It's different. It's a different squad now. We've lost the likes of Ceballos and Odegaard. We've lost something, and we've not brought in people yet. So, look, we've got to do some business, and I still trust we will do some business. But At the moment, we are starting the season just like we ended it, honestly.
Okay, thank you for that, RK. She says, amazing stream from you all. As you can see, she's a member. If you want to become a member, you can click on the join button next to subscribe for more content and to stand out in the comment section. Also in Kozi's channel, you can do all that. Become a member, because usually it's a lot of comments. Usually it's a lot of comments, and before someone notices your comments, it's very hard. Let me tell you guys something. All these people you see streaming live with a million people watching, it is very hard to keep up with everything. Bringing up the pictures, listening to Kozi, reading the comments, bringing up the photos, everything together, it's usually very hard. So usually just, if they ask you for a like, just do it, because it's very, very hard, like I'm going to do right now. Make sure you drop a like on the video, and let's take a couple of more comments before we end it. I also saw Steven asking, Kozi, I've not seen experienced players being signed. What is happening? Is Arsenal kidding again this season? I know you've kind of answered, but anything to add?
Yeah, you're right. You're really right. We've been linked with a couple of them though, but I think if you've been following the window, you know now you know what kind of project we want. We don't want to sign in 27-year-olds. We don't even want to sign in 26-year-olds. I think our goal at the moment is to bring in players that are 25 years below. 25 years below. If you look at most of the players we're linked with, Aouar, Locatelli, Maddison, Odegaard, Bissouma, 25 years, 24 years below. What they're trying to do is they want to build a squad. They want to bring in, I mean, as per reports, I can't really speak, with a lot of sincerity on this, but as per reports, Arsenal want to to build a squad that is around 24, years below, so that they can actually move together, develop together until 28, maybe 28, 27 years, when they can actually lift a trophy or silverware somewhere. So the experience, 28, 29, 27, 26, we might not see much of that. We might not actually see much of that, really.
Moses asks, how far is Xhaka's transfer to Roma? Would you say 80, 90% done?
It's in the final stages, around 88% done. It's in the final stages. I think what Roma need to do is to agree a fee with Arsenal, and they're very close to that. Very, very close to that. The player should be in training with Roma next week. That's all. As far as I know, as soon as next week, he should be training with Roma.
Like 2 weeks ago, I heard that they were waiting for Arsenal to announce Lokonga. How is that? How does that affect them?
Yeah, what Fabrizio said was Roma were waiting for us to sign in a midfielder in order to get Xhaka, and the reason that's why they were waiting for us to sign Lokonga is, one, they know the fact that we are bringing in Houssem Aouar, they would want to take Xhaka, and Arsenal looking to get a direct replacement for Granit Xhaka. So they know if we announce Lokonga, we need to fill in some money in that pocket, and then add more money and go and get someone, either a Ruben Neves or someone. So that's why they wanted us to sign Houssem Aouar first. That's the reason. They know we are not actually using Lokonga as a first team player, so they waited for us. Get in Lokonga, but we know you're going to get in another central midfielder, so we can give you some money to bridge the Lokonga, the Lokonga gap in your pocket, so that you can actually get another, you can strengthen up your muscles to buy other players.
Okay, I also saw you putting up a poll the other day talking about young players or experienced players. Which kind of answers did people give?
It was more of young players. It was actually more of young players. I think with Arsenal fans, you do understand their reasoning in that sense, because they're really disgusted with the experienced old players that have been at the club last season. They're really tired. I think the likes of Saka, Martinelli, the likes of Smith Rowe, when they come in, the club wins games. The clubs gets points. When you trust the likes of Willian, the club doesn't get points. So you do understand why they actually went for young players. You do, don't you?
Yeah, I do understand. There's a lot of reasons. You're welcome, Moses. On his behalf, Zara Brooke says the main problem last year was one, no experienced midfield, and two, Thomas Partey bad performance. Last question. Let's finish up with that. Thomas Partey, do you think he'll improve next season? Do you think it's the season for him?
I think it's definitely it's definitely it's gonna be his year. The first thing you have with Thomas Partey is, despite the fact that he came into this Arsenal side and struggled, his quality never got lost. We never lost track of his quality. Never. Whenever he was on that pitch, despite the fact that a couple of times he didn't give us what we deserve, but you could see the sparkles of his quality. And I think you just need to get the right players around him. And that's why I said, if Arsenal going to sign in a player in the midfield, it depends on Thomas Partey. Does he want to play as a box to box? Then you bring in someone like Bissouma. Does he want to play does he want to play a CDM role? Then you bring in someone like Houssem Aouar or Emile Locatelli. So I think it's the players around him. Partey is good at passing the ball, but who is he passing it with? These guys, the Ceballos, the likes of Xhaka. Do you know the amount of blind passes we recorded per 90 last season?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lot. We couldn't. There's sometimes it looked like we couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together.
I mean, that's it. These men, have you seen these men failing to make 2-yard passes, 3-yard passes, 6-yard passes, failing
and
to do that?
One of them, surprisingly.
Yeah, exactly. And Partey was one of them. And I think with football, in any area, for me, it's complementarity. It's all about complementarity. Who are you playing with? Partey with El Neni against Manchester United. Everybody was like, wow, Partey's having the party, and Pogba is actually, collecting the remains at the party. But look, in the other games, it was different. It was so different. I think, who do you play with? That is the question. Gabriel is so good, but when he plays with Rob Holding, I don't want to see the pair on the pitch. I don't want to see the pair, honestly. Yeah. So for me, it's complementarity. Get the right players around Thomas Partey, and we will have the right midfield. No question about that.
I'm hoping we improve it, and there's a chance you're going to start this season without like the likes of Gabriel if he's seriously injured. So it's looking like Pablo Mari will be needed from the start of the season. So I'm hoping we sort it out very quickly, because we don't have a preseason game. We have a behind closed doors match today. We'll try and bring you the updates and stuff. So Kozi, thank you very much for coming on. I saw someone saying thank you in the chat. You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. And someone asking about Maddison. Benedict asking about Maddison. As Kozi said earlier, it's a difficult deal, as a lot of journalists have said. There's been talks about a swap deal with Nelson and Niles. Leicester, from what I've heard from Leicester fans especially, they do not want the likes of Nelson and Niles. So Leicester with Maguire for United, they said this amount of money, and United tried to bargain, and they ended up paying the money at the end of the season, at the beginning of the season still. Chilwell the same, N'Golo Kante the same. So they are usually very, very strict. If they ask for 70 million, you're going to have to pay that 70 million. So that's it. Kozi, thank you for coming on. What do you have coming up on your channel?
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna produce that video, from Fabrizio Romano. I should be doing that video. Yeah, I should have done it yesterday. My internet was a little bit, problematic. So we're gonna discuss. I'm gonna dive into Fabrizio and all the latest. Where are our deals standing? We've spoken much about it here. So you could also find me on my channel as well and discuss that. I'll also produce another video today on the deja vu, our transfer deja vus. We are rotating every summer. We are rotating. It looks like we're in the same place, right? Yeah. And then we really need to talk about that. Our transfer deja vus, and then I'll do a wrap up. Of what has happened in the day.
Awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. Make sure you drop a like on the video. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you follow the page. Make sure you like the page. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you leave a like. We'll be back. We always do this with Kozi every single time. So there are more updates. There are more news. As I said, there's a game today, behind closed doors game. So we are hoping to bring you any information from that. As of now, thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.